It may be winter, but spring sports are registering now for Everplay Sports and Social. Barrett again from the All About Nothing podcast, and right now through February 19th, you can sign up for Tuesday's Super Rec Same Team Pitch Kickball at M Avenue, Wednesday Kickball at M Avenue, Thursday Kickball at B Avenue and M Avenue, Indoor Volleyball on Mondays at Tri-City Leisure Center, Tuesday Indoor Volleyball at Tri-City Leisure Center, Tuesday Sand Volleyball at Pollywogs, Thursday Sand Volleyball at Pollywogs, Sunday Softball or Monday Softball at Pacific Park, Tuesday Bowling at Bolero in Casey, Wednesday Cornhole at Jay's Corner, Monday Pickleball at Casey Pickleball Complex, or Wednesday Soccer at B Avenue and Bray Park Field. Check out everplaysocial.com for more information and registration. Again, everplaysocial.com. Everplay Sports and Social League. Play, socialize, and have fun.
The All About Nothing podcast may have language and content
that isn't appropriate for some.
Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, Nothingers, to another episode of the All About Nothing podcast. This is episode number 240. I am Barrett Gruber.
I'm Zach King.
I wasn't sure when it was coming.
Never are.
Pause. So I am the one and only Erica Sampson.
Welcome, Erica. We're happy to have you with us. Please subscribe and share the show. That's how we get new listeners. Also, if you could, please consider supporting the show financially by visiting our website and clicking on the support link. And if you can't do that, please drop us a review, hit the 5 stars, give us a thumbs up, or leave a comment. All of that helps drive us up higher in all of these show ratings on all these podcast platforms. Do have a couple things of business to get out of the way. Everplay Sports and Social, everplaysocial.com. Right now, registering leagues for bowling, softball, kickball, pickleball, soccer, volleyball, and cornhole, as well as the Masters of Putt-Putt is coming up on March the 29th. All registration now through February 19th. So check that out, everplaysocial.com, if you are in the Columbia area. The Coastal Comic Con is coming up March 1st and 2nd in Wilmington, North Carolina, Wilmington Convention Center. Artists, vendors, voice, TV, and movie actors, including Ross Marquand, Sam Witwer, Matthew Wood, Matthew Watterson, Cal Dodd, and Caitlin Robruck. So check that out, coastalcomiccon.com, or you can find them on Instagram and Facebook at Coastal Comic Con.
We have interviews with 3 of those already, and Barrett's just 40.
Do you have them scheduled?
We recorded with them we recorded with them in August at the Soda City Comic Con. They just happened to be coming back. And yes, I have audio for them that I do need to finish putting together so that I can give that to, or I can put that as some of the exclusive content, because ultimately that's what I want people to do is buy memberships, like become members of the show. They want. Stop making us pay for this.
We'll give you 1 for free, and then you come back for the race.
That's right. You get 7 days free. That's not bad. All right. Last one, ZJZ Designs. Check out ZJZDesigns.com for apparel, gifts, and more. New designs and prints are releasing regularly. New designs right now for St. Patrick's Day featuring Liam the Leprechaun. It's a great design. You can check it out now, ZJZDesigns.com. Okay. Welcome, Erica. This is your second time on the show. It's been more than a year, right?
It has. Yeah.
Because it's some changes. That was a while ago. But yeah, so Erica Sampson, of course, are you still the chair for the Young Democrats?
No, so that's a 2-year, so you get to do it twice, and that's it. Yeah, so I've done my service, and I pass the torch on to the next victim. Yeah.
So now you're an old Democrat.
Exactly. Now I'm an old fuddy-duddy. Yeah.
How long can you? And that was for the Low Country.
Mm-hmm, the Low Country Young Democrats.
How long do you What's the age cutoff to being a member of the Low Country Democrats for South Carolina? Young Democrats for the Low Country Democrats. I'm just using lots of words over and over.
It's 14 to 39.
14 to 39.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a young Democrat.
There you go. Burr, 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 burr. Yeah. There you go.
3 years. Got to figure this out real quick.
Hurry. That's right. Time's of the essence. That's right.
I was not going to do a podcast episode without having sound effects for you, Erica.
Thank you so much. Last time I was like, hey, man, hit the sound effect. That was fire. What's up? You know?
So how are things going in the Low Country Democrats Young Democrats. I can't say it right.
Low country young Democrats. So I've stepped away. More so that because of the election, I felt like that last one, I needed to really process. And for me to process was, I didn't even want to turn on the TV. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't want to open my phone because every time I did, that was access to reminding me why I'm processing and I'm in a funk. So I couldn't really tell you what's going on with them. I'm actually in the phase now where when I turn on my phone, I'm like, all right, I can't keep processing anymore. It's time for me to now get active. So I'm
put the boots back on.
Yeah, so I'm like, fine, okay, I guess I'll go back outside. But for a long time, man, I'm not leaving this door. No, I'm gonna stay my 92% right here and just sit this one out because y'all don't listen. Y'all don't listen.
When South Carolina lost their bowl game, I did the same thing.
The bowl game. I try to keep up with y'all. Whenever I was listening to y'all podcast, like 90% y'all was talking about sports, and so I would go back and try to like hop into a conversation. Yeah, man.
90%. That's heavy.
Y'all was talking all sports, and I was like, I don't know. I did not know anything.
That's how we dealt with the election, right?
That's exactly right. There's a comfort level to life that we have not yet achieved, and somehow sports fills that gap.
Speaking of that, the Bills just lost to the Chiefs, and
what? No way.
Much like the election, rigged.
You think so? You know what? I will say, and Erica is probably going to remain silent on this, but I will say that I do think the Chiefs won that game. I do think that there were some calls that in my opinion could have potentially, there was a first down and there was a catch that didn't seem legitimate to me, but I'm not a ref. I can't.
And to spare Erica, I will have no rebuttal.
Listen, my sister, my household is Steelers. My dad, everything from the mug to the rug to everything is Steelers. And he is a Jehovah's Witness, but when his birthday come around, he like subliminally drops like Steelers Amazon stuff. I'm like, hold on, sir, you got to pick your battles. Like, but my sister is actually trying to put me on game. She's trying to tell me how the rules and stuff. I'm late, but they got a group chat, so I'm trying to like, all right, I would be in a group chat,
piece by piece.
So right. So she's trying to teach me.
It's all a learning process.
Hey, it's all. If they got food there, just sit there and be like, this is great.
Honestly, that's the best thing to do is to go to a football game and do the tailgating, because I have social anxiety. I don't want to go into the game and watch the game. I'd rather stay outside and hang out, but mine's bad enough. I don't even want to go tailgate anymore. Like,
no,
there's too many people. I can sit on my couch. I have access to a bathroom that I am comfortable in doing anything in, and I mean,
I know,
anything in. So
tailgating is fine. It's the logistics of parking and travel.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So I know you said that, you're still working your way through the results of the election, but guess what we get to talk about today? Look, here's the thing. The last, we're only 9 days into Donald Trump's presidency, his last presidency. I don't care how many people are out here saying, I can't wait for his third term, but this is his last presidency. And that means that we have experienced the first week of Donald Trump's presidency. There is no more first weeks to come. But I did find some statistics from when Donald Trump was president the first time. During his first term, he had 285 golf trips. That's from 27. So from January 20th of 2017 to January 20th of 2021. 285 golf trips. There were 87 in 2017. There were 67 in 2018, 84 in 2019. In 2020, he cut down a lot. COVID took his toll because he was sick with COVID for a portion of that. Only 47, but 285. Costing taxpayers in the United States $142 million. A lot of that was what he charged to the Secret Service for them to stay at his resort in Mar-a-Lago and in Bedminster, New Jersey.
So for the next 201 weeks, we get to hopefully encourage him to golf more and president less.
It's not a bad idea. so far for 2025, he has now been in office as of the recording of this episode, 9 days. He has taken three. He's taken three golf trips so far. 9 days, three golf trips. It's insane.
I'll go golfing with him if that's what it takes. Let's go do this. And I'm just whacking the ball in the general direction of the green. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
If it clips him in the back of the head and or ear, we're fine.
Golfing is hard. I went to Top Golf and I sucked. I'm like,
Really?
So, and that's just driving the ball. Like I can drive the ball decently. It's gonna hook or it's gonna what's the other golfing term? It hooks or it slashes? No, slices. It hooks or slices. I don't know which one of those is which because it's golf, and
they had to make a word up for it.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to really like golf, but Top Golf would be fun. I haven't gotten to do that yet. There's one in Augusta. There's one in Charlotte.
I like golf video games. That's about it. I can drive the ball, so I might get you at Top Golf, Erica.
Okay.
Well, Zach and I are going to have an opportunity to go out to Darlington Country Club in, I believe, June.
And embarrass the shit out of ourselves.
We're gonna be helping Darlington Country Club celebrate their 100th anniversary.
Nice.
We have been invited to go do that.
And they invited y'all. Okay, hit the button one time.
Our buddy Carrie Tharp invited us out to Darlington.
Yeah,
we're not worthy.
I'm gonna have a couple mulligans going on. I'm like, it fell off the tee, Carrie. Mulligan.
Nice.
I wanted to so the dump truck. I'm sorry, the Donald Trump statistic about his golfing. That was something that I picked up. Some comments in there. David put in here on TikTok said Biden spent 40% of his time on vacation. So what's wrong with Trump playing golf? That number that you're giving is not accurate. I'm sorry. You're
damn near
fundamentally wrong, and you should look that up. These statistics are actually based on the Social Security's and the Secret Service's information of the number of times that they had to rent out space at Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster. So those are factual based on federal office information. Biden wasn't on vacation for 40% of the time, and that's absurd that you would think that. And I'm sorry you think that. Okay, sorry. See, that's the problem. Flipping TikTok distracts you away.
Slept for 50% of the time.
That's right. Now, I'll admit he's probably sleeping a lot. I mean, he's 82 years old now. He was Donald Trump's. He was younger than Donald Trump when he took office. So Donald Trump, again, the oldest president ever inaugurated in history, and the only president ever to be inaugurated with 34 felonies.
Crazy.
And the only president to berate a KFC employee through the drive-thru.
and basically assault a Chick-fil-A employee during a campaign. Really odd. Because he hugged her without permission, is what I'm trying to say.
Where's your guys now?
So one of the things that came out of the inauguration last week, which Zach and I did talk about a little bit, and I don't know if we talked about on the show, was there was a lot of reaction to Elon Musk at the celebration, the celebratory inauguration at the arena that they rented out for the event, because and I will defend the Donald Trump and the campaign that it was cold outside. It was not the coldest inauguration that's ever occurred. So wherever that was coming from is completely inaccurate. JFK's inauguration was 14 degrees. It was 29 degrees and then 34 degrees or something by the time the inauguration kicked off. So it wasn't 14 degrees. But that wasn't the issue with Elon Musk. So
we don't ask whether it's cold.
Elon Musk got super duper excited when he was on stage, and I'll just say it. He threw out a Nazi. I believe what he did was throw out a Nazi salute. Erica, I assume you saw this.
I did not. I skipped the inauguration because I walked in the MLK parade, so I used my time other ways. Yes,
very nice.
Yes,
better ways. People would say.
I was in an MLK parade marching. But when I did get home, I did see the clips of the gesture, and I'm like, oh my God, you can't make this up.
So at this point, because it seems to just be opinion of everyone, and whether you're on one side or you're on the other side, everyone seems to have a different opinion about what it was that Elon Musk did.
Mhm.
Whether it was a Nazi salute or a Roman hello, or he was giving his heart out to people or whatever.
Call me crazy. The preamble he didn't say my heart goes out to you, did he?
He didn't.
Did I?
Right.
No,
Exactly.
no.
And then people keep going, well, he's saying, like Joe Rogan was saying, he was saying my heart goes out to you.
Oh,
and I was like,
such a reach.
no,
Such
he
a
didn't.
reach.
Quit gaslighting me, Joe Rogan. Now
Yeah.
what's going to happen?
Well-
He didn't say any of that. He just all of a sudden said what he said and then went, yeah.
And we knew what he said when he did that gesture. Like, stop it.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna point this out, and I'm not gonna be caught defending Nazis ever. But Elon Musk checks off a lot of boxes that would have disqualified him in being a Nazi. ADHD, autism, no discernible characteristics that make him stand out as anything besides a liability. So at best, the 1930s and 40s German military would have definitely used him for biological testing.
There was a
That's
clip
all he
where
would've
he
had.
was like moving his head like Stevie Wonder, and it was like he's talking to the mother lode, up his face. It
He
was
always
like
does this weird thing. Well, well,
they
well-
said he was contacting the mothership. I was like,
He is.
I believe
he
it.
is-
there
He
is
is
it.
Yeah,
There it
he's
is.
weird. He's a weird
he's
guy.
ultimately an awkward guy, and but then I get people defending him, and defend him all you want. I don't care. He's not anybody that I'm not going to buy one of his cars. I'm not going to buy
Right.
one of his trucks. It's and not because there's anything wrong with them fundamentally. I think that all four of the Tesla models basically on the inside feel like a Dodge Neon from 1993, and I am not besmudging the Dodge Neon from
Great name of
1993.
the Dodge Neon and Plymouth Neon.
A car so fantastic that two auto brands just use the same name.
It's the best name. Why we would never change it. It's the Dodge Neon and the Plymouth Neon.
So again, not besmudging it, but you could buy a Dodge Neon brand new for like $6,500. But the quality of the Teslas, and again, I'm not besmudging the Tesla, but for me, the quality of the Tesla is cheap. You sit on the inside and everything around you is plastic. I would expect for $70,000-$80,000 a vehicle that feels like a $70,000-$80,000 vehicle, and it's not. But
I'll take one of those used $25,000 to $30,000 ones.
Teslas, that's
Yeah.
fair. I don't blame you.
Parking I get at my job for having an EV.
Do they have EV chargers at your job?
Yeah,
Nice.
nice.
I get that. I could. Well,
Someone had the gall to park their Suburban in it today, and I got to watch the security guard put a boot on it. And I was like, "Not an EV, huh?" He's like,
is the security guard aware that it's harder to move a vehicle with a boot on it? Like,
"Oh, they had to come talk to security before to get the boot removed." What are you talking about?
But like, you're putting unnecessary. Like, is there a fine for him parking it there?
Well, at least a stern talking to.
Right.
Well,
Goes on his permanent record. You don't want to be on the permanent record.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. So, regardless of what everyone's interpretations of what it is that Musk did in that inauguration, it's just important to point out that the Nazis never would have had Elon Musk as a soldier. And for all the people that defend Elon and say, he's this genius, he is above average at best intelligence. Like, he's not marketing genius. He's not an engineer. He's never invented anything. He has thrown spaghetti at the wall, and some of it is stuck. I mean, I don't know who came up with the idea to have a booster rocket land back where it took off from, or, safely, and save money that way. But that was somebody else's idea.
Yeah,
That was not Elon Musk's idea. Because
how do we
Yeah.
how do we get this to happen?
Elon
I
Musk,
liked Elon Musk before I ever had to hear him speak. I'm like, all right, this is great. I like
Oh my
space. I
God.
love space.
I used to watch your show back in the day, like, man, that man is funny. And then you got to know him, like, wait a minute, whoa.
Oh, don't put him in charge of stuff.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
What happened here? That's not who I was watching. But yeah, I used to watch Trump's show, tune in and everything.
They should have built like the T-Rex fence around New York to keep his ass in there, just like never gonna leave. You didn't need him to come out of there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just dumbfounded by all these people that defend Elon Musk as being some unbelievable genius. And like I said, IQ maybe above average, maybe.
Well, the whole thing that like it's the saddest thing I've heard so far is him paying people to play like Diablo and Path of Exile.
Yes.
You have something on it already? Am I ruining it?
No. Please go for it.
But so he came out on Joe Rogan. He's like, I'm like the top 10% of players on Diablo. And we're just like, no, you're not. Like, it's physically impossible because the people who are literally make their money for streaming every day, like, to do that. And he just lied. And then they're like, you have to pay people. No, I don't pay people. Then finally he got pressed enough. He's like, I pay people, but everybody's paying people.
Oh my gosh.
No, not
like,
everybody's
dude,
paying people.
You're a loser. Play a video game and say you love it. You don't have to be the top 10% in the world about it. Jesus, like, stop.
See, and
that's the kind of guy you're getting running these companies. They picked up a what did they say? A strange Earth object NASA did, and they were like, we don't know what it is. It was that fucking Tesla Roadster he launched into space coming back around. And they totally forgot about it. Like, oh, Elon.
Yeah, he just came back.
Okay.
Just came back from lunch break, y'all. He's clocking back in. Like,
I'm still dumbfounded that we, the United States, whether it was the military or the federal government or whatever, I am still in shock that we let him put space trash, like just puts trash in the top of it. Like his Roadster's cool, whatever. But like literally, it just became space trash. And it's a giant hunk of space trash that basically is just now orbiting. I mean, it's gone into an orbit.
It goes on a Mars orbit and then slingshots and comes back around. But they calculated that wrong, I believe, and that's why they didn't know what the hell was happening. This thing that was coming, and they were like, "What the hell?" And they're like, "It's the fucking Roadster. It's back." Like it's just like I would assume they would have had like Roadster calculation in their telescope to understand that piece of space trash in particular. Maybe it has a beacon. I don't know. Maybe it's blaring Van Halen as it's going through space and no one can hear it.
There's no way that thing still works.
I don't know. It's a battery. It's a perfect vacuum with the coldest it can be. So yeah, I doubt the batteries work.
But it's lithium Like I know what happens to lithium batteries in stuff that I leave in the car when it's too cold outside, and that's
yeah. My daughter's Power Wheel was dead today. She wanted to ride it, and it was on the charger, and I was like, cold, zapped it. Done.
Yeah, we have to replace the batteries.
Yeah,
I just. So
they didn't know that this Roadster was coming flying back through space on its way to Earth.
Is there any possibility that the trajectory of the Roadster could potentially like hit Earth, like land somewhere?
You mentioned its cheap make, right?
It'll burn up. I'm aware it'll burn up.
Burn right up.
Satellites.
It'll be a pebble that hits your windshield on the way down.
Satellites burn up all the time. You know, they re-enter Earth's orbit, or I guess atmosphere, and they burn up all the time. So
then Elon would probably just pipe up and be like, "I didn't mean to tell you, but I did put carbon fins all over it, so it won't burn up, and it will land on somebody's house. Battery's dead, parachute won't work." Yeah, I have no idea.
If it has a battery,
he launched it in 2015, and we all forgot about it, and then NASA's like, "What the fuck is that?"
Another thing, and this one's a little more recent, that we woke up to news this morning that the Trump administration had emailed federal employees to resign. Have y'all seen this?
Mm-hmm.
So overnight Tuesday into this morning, so as of this recording, this is brand new.
It was an email?
Yeah, an email sent to 2.3 million federal employees, basically offering them a path to resignation and take an offer that pays them through September 30th. And I'll get to that in a second. But it's an attempt to reduce the federal workforce. So back to this offer of pay and benefits through September 30th. It's bullshit. if you are a federal employee and you receive that email and you're considering whether or not you're going to resign, you're not going to get paid through September 30th. And here's the other thing. If you don't take the deal, you're likely going to get fired anyway.
That part. Yeah, exactly. That part.
That's the whole plan. Like Project 2025 perfectly lays out exactly what the intent is, which is reduce the number of employees in the federal government, hire back essential ones that ultimately declare their loyalty for Donald Trump. Like that's it. And if you are a federal employee,
you're not getting the brightest of the bright when that happens.
Yeah, but if you're a federal employee and you got that email, you will not get paid through September 30th because Donald Trump is in the Republican Party, and there's no way the Republicans are going to pay 2.3 million people to sit at home and do nothing for 8 months. It's not going to happen.
And imagine even if he did, the rehires you would get would be the stapler guy from Office Space.
Milton.
Have you seen my stapler?
And Trump, he doesn't really, I don't feel like his top priority is loyalty. I feel like his top priority is obedience. Like he just wants people, what I say, you do. Don't ask the gray area of the questions, just do it. So I feel like his biggest focus is just obedience. Who's going to be obedient? All right, come on my board. All right, who's next? Like, no, that like, dude is crazy.
Here's the line, who's going to tow it?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not, we chop hands and legs off.
All of the stuff that went on yesterday, which was shocking, with this freezing of federal aid and grants and whatnot from the federal government, all of that went on yesterday, and the amount of confusion that ultimately could have been resolved by having the White House be prepared for questions that were going to come from all of this. I am dumbfounded by the fact that they were not remotely prepared for it. There was so much ambiguity over what government aid was going to be effective. I have family that had Medicaid, and ultimately the thing that scared them the most was the fact that when when it started coming to light in the morning, as they started approaching 5 o'clock, and we still didn't know exactly what was going on, Medicaid portals all over the country started to fail. Like Georgia, you could log in, but as far as you would get, it would just be a splash screen saying that the Medicaid portal is unavailable. And that was and I know that was happening because I talked to somebody about it. And so ultimately there was so much confusion. The state agencies had no idea what was going to be effective. We had universities across the country that had no idea whether or not the funding for research that was going on was they were going to know whether that was still in place. So it was almost completely unnecessary. And then by the afternoon, we find out that Donald Trump's on one of his golf trips with a shit ton of Republicans. So it's like they threw a grenade and then split town. For something as important as that, I get Donald Trump's inept. I get that he's 78 years old. You know, syphilis has riddled his brain.
You can't even blame him anymore, right? You can't blame him. You have to blame the people who put him there.
But I fundamentally don't think Donald Trump is in charge. I'm going to make that statement right now because I have seen the videos of him signing the executive orders. And when they hand one across to him and they go, this is the one that this is the proclamation for MLK. Presidents do it every year. It's basically it's a proclamation stating that today is the day of observance from the life of Martin Luther King Jr. And he goes, oh, that's a big one. And it's like,
big one.
Yeah. Why is that your reaction? Like, why are you reacting in a way that acts? This is. Oh, so we're changing the name of Mount Denali to Mount McKinley.
Apropos of that, they had Jimmy Kimmel nailed it with the, sir, this is to build that giant penis laser. That's a big one. Nailed it.
So good.
It's like, yes.
So yeah, I don't think Donald Trump's in charge. I think that
I think he has a playbook. Project 2025.
Right. And I think
he's just able to do it.
I think he just throws out all his ideas and then he's like, well, let's just see which one's going to stick. You know what I'm saying? He's like, just
spaghetti
throw it
against the
out.
wall.
Exactly. Just do it all, you know? And then he's like, one of them got to stick. We'll figure it out.
He's the Joker, and the federal judges who block the crazy shit he puts through are our Batman for now.
I'm less concerned about Donald Trump because I think that he has handlers, but those handlers are the ones that I think are the most. They have the most to gain by enacting as much of Project 2025 as they can. And
that's never happened before in any history of the presidency.
No, we've never had a president.
W. Bush.
We've never had a president. Yeah, we've never had a president that was literally in a coma while his wife basically ran the office.
Yeah, never, and it hasn't been specifically Republican presidents.
Yeah, correct.
Right. Okay.
I'm just saying. I think that there is a lot more going on. And again, Donald Trump is 78 years old. He is the oldest person to ever have been inaugurated as president ever. And I get people are going to say, well, Biden's 82 now. Yeah, but he was younger in days than whatever. But
time is on our side is what you're saying.
Gotta be patient.
but
just wait
but
this
also,
one out.
But also there's plenty of evidence to support the fact that Donald Trump potentially has some things that have been wrong with him in the past, things that he's caught through his adventures in the Playboy sort of lifestyle.
His adventures in totalitarianism.
Yeah, well, that's what we have now.
Or no, he's a teetotaler, right?
Teetotaler, teetotalitarian. I don't, whatever.
Teetotalitarianism.
There it is.
I won't even try to say it more than once.
You nailed it. But like even when he was campaigning last year, like at one point he was waving and he had syphilis scars on his the syphilis sores on his hand.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
that's a thing. I didn't know that.
I know, right? Bear, why did you know that? Yeah. What is on your algorithm?
Health class,
coach.
I know. Beamer's as old as I am. I guarantee you. He had 8th grade, 9th grade health class. That was something we discussed. They showed us pictures.
Yikes!
They
and
showed us
Melania's
pictures.
just standing there.
Oh,
you know,
that's why she doesn't kiss him. She's like, that's herpes. No, not today.
The more I stare at Trump, the more I feel like Melania is starting to look like him. Like the mouth, like her face are like, are y'all twinning? Like they're starting to like look exactly the same person. It's weird.
Can we talk about the hat?
Yeah, sure.
What the fuck? She looks like Carmen Sandiego. Erica, I don't know if you know who that is, but that's exactly who she looked like.
I know who that is. I'm glad that I did know who that was.
We're both young Democrats, but there is a gap.
I thought she looked more like the hamburglar that just wasn't very good at burglaring.
Yeah.
Like
that's why Trump keeps her on. He's like, now you have the burgers.
It's like, oh my gosh, Melania, blink twice, girl.
Yeah, no,
she's been showing up a lot more. Like,
yeah.
He's like, no, we're in deep, deep love.
There's
your plane, I fly in my plane.
She has a contractual obligation.
Sure.
Like originally,
there has to be some reason.
Well, yeah.
Well, he won't whisper the spell that sets her free until she does what he says.
If she's seen with the president wearing the clothes that she sells on her website, wearing the jewelry she sells on her website, it benefits her because that's not Trump's money, that's her money. That's like
no, I thought you said we were going to Kentucky Derby.
But ultimately, she has a contractual obligation to be there. Like it benefits her to stand there. But did you see the interaction between Donald Trump and Gavin Newsom when he went to LA to look at the fires? So
one guy was wearing lifts and still wasn't as tall as Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom's shoes are flat, and he's just pointing at him like.
It was an interesting interaction. Donald Trump definitely got mail-splained? No, that's not the word. He definitely got what's the word where it's like emasculated? He got emasculated.
Yeah, sure.
Because Donald Trump does this thing where he's shaking people's hands and he's pulling their hand back and forth like this. Newsom had nothing, was not going to participate in that. He grabbed his hand and Donald Trump went to pull it one time and Newsom didn't even flex. He just goes, he just held his hand like that, and then
he's
gave
like,
him
"You're
a pat
78. You're not fucking yanking this back."
Yeah,
Let's
like
be honest.
Donald. The most Donald Trump has had to lift is him in and out of the bed, and I'm not sure he's doing that.
All the ladies who pick me up on the feather pillows.
I imagine Donald Trump's probably got got one of those butler boys to pick him up, or well, not pick him up, but at least assist him into the bed at the White House. But yeah, Gavin Newsom
That or
totally
when they start
emasculated
him up
him.
in the Frankenstein machine.
Totally emasculated him. The Trump administration. I keep shortening that. I don't know why. I think it's because that's literally what
It's
I
the
wrote
insurance
down.
lingo we've been using for
Possibly
Liability.
9 years.
Donald Trump did execute some executive orders to release the JFK files, the RFK files, the Martin Luther King Jr. assassination files.
Aliens? Are we moving anywhere with aliens?
We haven't seen anything about any sort of, I guess any of that top secret information about aliens.
Yeah, a certain relative of mine was like, "I can't wait for the JFK files," and I was just like, "I don't think you're gonna get it."
So, well, I don't know when those are going to be like scheduled to be released. Like, I have to assume that there is some sort of plan. I have not seen them. Now,
what are they gonna do, Barrett? They're gonna be like, "Yes, we killed him."
Well,
You're right. I'm curious too.
I don't even like. Yeah. Okay. So I come from a place of not we, because this happened well before our time, but United States
time, not your time.
United States taxpayers.
Where were you when Kennedy was assassinated?
I was one of the wee ones. one of billions. But essentially, I look at it from the viewpoint of, or the perspective of, taxpayers paid for the investigations for all three of those. And ultimately, I believe that because taxpayers paid for it, that information should be released because they came to a conclusion based on the investigations. Let's release it.
Release what?
Public free knowledge.
Yeah, whatever's been redacted, whatever's not been made available to us. It's
So
not
you
going to
don't
solve
think
anything.
that Lee Harvey Oswald shot him?
Me? I fully believe Lee Harvey Oswald shot him. I would like to know what Lee Harvey Oswald's background was, maybe some motivation, things like that. It couldn't have just, because they know Lee Harvey Oswald traveled between Russia and Cuba and the United States and so there's a lot of things in there that I assume that they probably have that hasn't been released.
He was probably just like the lamest Winter Soldier you ever had. Matchbook, broom handle,
doorknob,
yeah,
Coke Zero.
He's like, that's it. That's it. There it is.
And all of a sudden he's activated. But so from my perspective, I just say just release it. Like, it's not going to change anything. Like, they're not going to go back and be like, oh, the CIA was responsible for JFK. Should we trust the CIA? What does it matter? CIA is a civilian
That's exactly
organization.
what people are thinking that Trump's going to do.
Then
they're going to be like, by the way, JFK Jr., he's in Bermuda.
He's dead.
Yeah.
JFK Jr. is dead.
That's the straws they're wanting to grab. Like,
I know.
That kind of crazy.
It's
His plane
insane.
crashed where Jaws lives. Jaws ate his ass. Like,
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Him, his wife, and their concubine or whoever it was that was in the jet. I didn't say that.
Their daughter was in the jet, wasn't she?
No, it wasn't a daughter. It was a friend. I'm gonna bleep that out because it feels irresponsible. I'm not gonna besmudge the JFK Jr. He was a playboy. He
I have nothing against him, but he's dead. He's not secretly controlling the government like QAnon believes,
right?
Like, or whatever the fuck he believed, which is probably more crazy than secret President JFK Jr.
I gotta ask: is QAnon still a thing? Do we still have to be concerned about propaganda coming out from QAnon?
I don't know, let me log into 4chan.
Okay, thanks. Is 8chan still a thing?
I'm sure it is.
Okay. Is 16 chan still a thing? Am I saying these
They
right?
found the guy who spread the QAnon thing, right?
Yeah.
He lives in like Thailand with his dad, and they're like Americans who ran away to Thailand
Yeah.
for the internet. Like in QAnon's like, no,
there's no way that's him.
He was actually JFK Jr.
Yeah. No, they did find him, and the reason they know it was him was because I think they tracked IP addresses. They found
They did it all. They were like, yeah, that's him. They had a whole documentary, and basically he was like, "Are you Q?" He's like,
you caught me.
QRSTUV. Who knows?
So
and that the biggest problem we have is the Kennedy that's in power now.
Oh Lord. Well, has
cut
he
the head off a whale, put it on the minivan, didn't even tell his kids to roll the window up.
He hit a bear with his vehicle, threw it in the trunk, and then staged a bicycle accident in Central Park with the bear. And the only reason he did that was because he didn't have enough time to go home with it to put it in his freezer before he had to get on a plane or dinner or something like that.
Hey,
the best RFK Jr. just like play on or whatever was the dude who was like, JFK, you want a Red Bull? Or RFK Jr., you want a Red Bull? And he's like, hell no, you're gonna wake the worm up. I don't need that thing yapping at me 24/7. Because
do you know what
worm
happens
ate his brain.
Do you know what happens to worms when you give them wings? So we went off on a tangent, but
it came around.
Questions after these executive orders were signed that are going to release this documentation. Questions were asked about the Epstein files because one of the things that Donald Trump said that he would look into releasing the Epstein files.
No, he's on that plane.
He is. Well, but see, that's stuff we already know. Like, we know that he was on Epstein's plane something like 17 or 18 times. They have literally hundreds of pictures of Epstein and Trump with young girls. We know
they put one video of P. Diddy's ass out, but we got it of Trump, but it's not enough.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Pete, Diddy gets yanked into jail, and all of this information about him, the parties with the baby oil all over the floor to keep people from escaping, and all that stuff. Like,
I'm not laughing. I'm crying.
Is that wrong? Is that not right?
That's what I heard. Oh gosh,
I think that's what the baby oil was for.
So they couldn't escape.
That was what the baby oil was for. Was they coat the floor in it, and then Justin Bieber can't get out of the house, right? That was
and Usher,
Justin Bieber's parents gave the two of them parental consent as guardian. What did they put Justin Bieber through? Like, I don't really want to know, but what
did they put Usher through?
Do we think are we of the mindset that maybe
Usher said it was weird? Like, Usher was like 16 or something, hanging out with P. Diddy, and was like, I had to get the fuck out of there.
Okay.
Like, he was the first one to like vocally be like, nope, not hanging out with P. Diddy anymore.
I still love Chappelle's reaction to watching P. Diddy come into a party. He's like, "Hey, Chappelle, you want to take a picture?" And Dave was like,
That's a no from me, sir.
I think in the 20th century, in the 19th century, in the 20th century, and the 21st century, we have right now in Dave Chappelle one of the greatest storytellers to ever exist. For this time, I think that
him and Louis,
Louis C.K. Like those, and I'm I don't know what to say about Louis C.K. because I'm disgusted at what he did, but at the same time, he asked if he could. Like, he asked for
it was
consent.
weird. Trust me, it was weird. But if we're talking about like a pure story weaving comedian, no one does it like Louis. And Dave is very anti-trans, which I don't agree with. But
sure,
the man can weave a yarn. Like, it's just great storytelling is great storytelling.
Yeah. And ultimately, I don't really know what Chappelle's deal with trans is, as far as like why he says the things he does, except that it's part of the joke. It gets a laugh. And
well, all the great comedians, like even like Shane Gillis is one of the top ones now, got canceled for doing his Asian accent. He's still fucking funny. I think it's the line they cross, right? For the jokes.
Yeah.
At the end
The
of
dark
the day.
humor they got to pull from.
Yeah.
Well,
comedians are going to do that. You can't take a comedian serious. You just can't.
I'll never be a fan of the fact that Chappelle has issue with the trans community, or that he uses them as the butt of his jokes, and that he does seem to feel some sort of way. But yeah, he's a fantastic storyteller, and always like somehow makes the joke come all the way back around. It's a unique way that he does it.
Mm-hmm.
The crack baby is the funniest shit ever.
The point of all that, Donald Trump hung out with Jeffrey Epstein and definitely did stuff with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, people who actually do stuff, that's the real problem, right?
Yeah.
Call it what it is.
For sure. Let's see. I think I've only got a couple more of these. Oh, I know what I want to talk about.
Did we do 7 questions with Erica?
I don't think we did 7 questions with Erica when she was on the show the first time. You didn't do 7 questions, did you? Do you know 7 questions?
I do not.
You don't know what 7 questions is?
Mm-mm.
This is how we know that Erica has not listened to the show in a little while.
In a little while I have not. But I was heavy on it at the beginning.
Before we get to 7 questions, I want to bring up a bill that Senator Mike Lee from Utah, he has brought up.
Is he a Mormon?
I don't know. I'm not sure on that one.
He's from Utah.
I don't know if it would make a difference on this one. But so Mike Lee of Utah has brought a bill to the floor through congressional procedures to abolish the TSA. And when I first heard that, I was like, oh, yeah, I could see that maybe the TSA isn't quite as necessary anymore because, of course, the security and things like that. We vastly improved scanning and technology and things like that. And then I read on. So the plan under his bill is to have airlines responsible for transportation security inside the USA.
Don't ride Spirit Airlines if that happens.
That was exactly where I was going. Could you imagine Spirit Airlines having to do the security at the gate?
You have a 75% survival rating with Delta. They care about what you're bringing on their planes. Spirit, pass.
I'm dumbfounded. Like eliminate the TSA. Okay, I can see why you would consider that to be unnecessary because we're not in that. We have Republicans that are constantly talking about border control. We need to add more border agents. We need to build a wall. But then when it comes to like the actual security of terrorists potentially coming to the United States, they're like, we don't need that protection anymore.
That's crazy.
So that would only bolster their wall argument or annexes of other countries coming here.
Oh yeah.
They'd be like, see? Like, it wasn't because you removed the TSA. They're like, no. Security at the edges of the United States, not from Utah to New York.
Are you guys old enough to remember when you used to be able to accompany somebody all the way to the gate and watch their plane take off?
You could do that till about like 2006.
No, 2002 was when that all ended.
No, my parents accompanied me to the gate without buying a ticket.
Parents of children could. That was they would allow that, but I
went to California by myself. I didn't get on that plane without being like, bye, Mom.
It was, I want to say it was 1997 or 98. I accompanied some friends to the airport and actually got to go all the way up to the gate with them because they were going on a trip to Hawaii. Hmm. And I remember their plane taxiing away from the gate and then watching it take off before we headed out. But I don't know if that is coming back. I really doubt it.
When you were in high school in 1945, you could just drive your car to the plane.
I thought it was funny, Zach.
Look, I got this. I got this at the Benz store.
You get cheeks and a finger with that. I don't even.
Right.
I know, what is that? It's
Erica, $5. I'll turn it around.
Oh no, thank you.
No, there's nothing there.
Okay.
Flat in front like Ken.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was all on board with this whole idea behind not having the TSA, but you still have to have security. So I guess it would just fall on the security of the
remove the TSA. What are you not doing?
Well, so you remove the TSA, you are now creating 60,000.
No, I'm talking about what part are you not having to do? They're like, we're not extra in your bag. You don't have a gun, do you?
Right, exactly. Like what measure is going to be in place to replace that?
Right.
Like if you remove
I don't think there was any positive coming from it. Security, you can go anywhere else. Like I've worked at places with security, and they're like, "You're not stealing nothing, are you?"
Yeah.
No.
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't suspect that this is going to. I don't suspect that it's going to go through, because if you eliminate the TSA, that's like 60, 70,000 jobs immediately ending, and you're putting those people into unemployment. Same with the firing of these 2.3 million federal employees. Like,
I was about to say something super mean, and I'm not.
Oh no, Zach, please.
A safe space.
Give it to us.
Then they'll all have to go back and finish high school.
Spirit Airlines, they just announced that now they're creating a policy about dress code.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Wait, dress code for the
You
employees?
have to wear a Hawaiian shirt when you get on?
So there is a dress code, but they didn't subliminally, like they didn't post it on their website. It was like an internal, like, hey, this is our new policy. Spread it to the team member. When y'all are in the next meeting, tell the team. But yeah, it was like, so now if you are flying on Spirit, there is a dress policy, and you will get turned away.
You're not wearing khaki.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is a dress policy for the patrons, the people that are
the paying customers. Yes.
Someone could still get in the back of that plane and break wind for your 12-hour flight.
You know what?
And
they
hold
should
you
just
up.
be happy that I'm wearing clothes.
As long as they look
Spirit
good.
Airlines.
But then they want to talk about removing TSA. It's like, all right, y'all got to pick y'all battles. Like, come on now.
Yeah, at that
you
point,
don't want Spirit in charge.
If you're flying Spirit and there's no TSA, reduce the amount of clothing. Like, you want to know what people...
Everyone's wearing thongs and bikinis.
That's
You're on the
best.
Speedo for a 12-hour flight. Like, don't look at me.
Look, that one time, that was the best. That was the easiest way to get through security ever. They weren't even looking at me. Well, they looked at me once and then right through.
I got super searched at the airport where they pulled me aside. They're like, take your shoes off, take your pants off, take your shirt off. And I'm like,
okay. What? Did they take you on a date first? Did they buy you a drink? Oh my gosh.
Kiss my neck, but I don't think that was part of it.
I'm always getting the random checks. Like, it'll be like 50 people in front of me, and then when it's my turn, they're like, hey, you got to do this random check. I'm like, what the heck? All these people in front of me. Like, every time, it never fails.
That's what happens to good-looking people. We get caught.
Okay.
You know,
you've never had a problem.
Never had a problem.
No.
Not
See?
one single time. Like I said, I was basically naked one time, and they were like, just go through.
I was wearing a Special Forces hat that I picked up in California, and the guy was like making me take my shoes and stuff off, and he's like, you can't wear that hat here. And I was like, why?
Stolen valor?
Like, Special Forces. And I was like, doesn't say I've been Special Forces, ask me questions, stolen valor.
Here's my thing. I'm not entirely certain that there is an army.
I was 16, by the way. Clearly have not been through Special Forces training.
But here's the thing. I don't imagine Special Forces has hats that they wear, like that are broadcasting that they're Special Forces.
I'm pretty sure it was the hat that I picked up on the way to the airport because it was like, I'm not brushing my hair out to go to the airport.
It says New Era. It says New Era right here.
No, this is made by a guy in Mexico. It's like, someone's going to buy this.
That's right. It's got snaps on the back. What do you want? It was
flea market quality.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, Erica, because you have not had to go through the embarrassment of doing our 7 questions, we're going to do that. So these are basically 7 questions that we ask our guests. They answer them as honestly as we'd like for them to answer, which is complete honesty. 100% complete honesty.
Bite your nails, bite your lip. Yes. Hold on, get ready.
This won't go anywhere, right?
That's right. No one will ever know.
No one will ever know.
Which All About Nothing host do you like the most?
Is that the first one?
All right, there's 8 questions.
Okay.
I'm waiting for her to answer.
Is that the question? Which one do I like the most? Myself. Special guest.
Oh.
Not a host. Do you
All
take
right.
the SATs with this kind of just
You know,
flagrant
I just wing
disregard
it.
for the
You know,
rules?
Disregard
I
for the
just
rules.
wing it. Yeah, just wing it. Go for it. Something's got to
All right.
stick.
Here's the first question. What was the last thing you Googled?
The last thing I Googled was the federal grants. Or yes, when I heard about what was going on with Trump, I went down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
I thought you were going to be like, what do syphilis hand marks look like? Trump.
No, that was because you know they like to throw out big words and stuff, man. I gotta be at the loop. Like, hold on, Google, what does
You
that
stopped
mean?
at syphilis. You're like, all right, fuck it.
That's it.
Gemini. Syphilis?
All right. Second question. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Time,
You want to travel to time, or you want to be able to stop time?
either or, just
Okay.
time. I don't want to limit it. I want to have that option.
Who
I'm
was
going to take her answer too, Barrett, because I just found out that I come from King William
true.
of Scotland.
he
Oh,
did
nice. It's
William
such
the
an honor.
First.
Well, I had the
William
last
First.
name King, and my dad always made the joke that the king left, and my dad said that one of our ancestors just sat in the seat for a minute, and he's like, "I'm taking the name," and running away. And they shoot him away. Kind of ended up being that, but time travel would be rad.
That is what happened.
We wouldn't need those government documents about JFK. We would just go figure it out.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. Third question. If your life were a movie, what would the title be?
If my life was a movie, what would it be? It would be, I don't test, but the scene from Chappelle, he's like, F your couch. That's my
Yeah.
motto.
I can see the Pulp Fiction type couch scene where you're just like put your feet on the couch. Yeah,
Exactly. That's the title, man.
That's good. All right. Number 4. If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Blackberries.
Really?
Yes, I cannot get enough of them. And they're very tricky because fruit, you got like 24 hours or it's a waste of money. But yes, blackberries, they're so
Okay.
good.
What is
That
what is the price on a bushel of blackberries right now?
I'm not
it's got to be at least like $8.
I was gonna say 7, so we probably thinking the same thing.
Mhm.
Just
My
curious.
wife is pregnant with twins that are due April-ish. Her one thing, we were like, you don't really have a she's devouring every bit of fruit. She'll come home with just a
Yeah.
bushel of fruit and just
You
destroy.
gotta hurry up, especially the cost of it, man. It's like you'd be lucky to make it into the fridge. It's like, no, I hurry up, eat this now.
That's
She
fair.
got a whole bag of cherries. She was like $9, and I was like, I think you need to find another addiction for your.
Have you heard of
pregnancy
cotton
cravings.
candy grapes? They're like $10.
Yeah,
Like, this is crazy, and they better taste like cotton candy, man. Like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
it does. Except for it doesn't dry you out. You're just like,
Try you out.
cotton candy.
Oh, eating the cotton. Okay. I was still associated with the grapes. All right. Question number 5. What is your least favorite candy and why?
Anything gummy bears. I am not a gummy person. If it's like the Sour Patch Kid, even that texture, I don't like gummies. And then I remember like in college, everyone wanted like, you know, the gummy bear where you infuse it with alcohol. And I'm like, I had to, you know, not eat that, but I just do not like gummy bears at all. Ugh.
So
We didn't tell you this, but this is a litmus test. Barrett, mark
failed
Red
that
flag.
one. So in respect to that, I have never been a fan of the alcohol soaked
Mhm.
No,
gummies
that's different,
because the texture for me, the texture changes
It does.
ultimately, and now it's this slimy
Mhm.
sort of. It doesn't.
not solid, not
Yeah.
a liquid.
Yeah. It's the guy from the first X-Men movie that was the senator that turned into the blob and then
The fish guy, yeah.
yeah, the fish guy. There you go. All right, question number 6. What is one strange or unusual talent that you have that no one knows and now everyone will?
Strange and I don't know if that's a talent. Like a
What
fun
about
fact.
like if you showed somebody, they'd be like, "Damn."
Oh, God, now I sound boring. See, my thing is I'm like into random fun facts, like history. If I wasn't in politics, I would be a professor. So I just know like a bunch of random facts that have no rhyme or reason, but I hear it. I think it's cool.
Okay.
So let's
yeah,
test
that's
her.
not
Let's
really
test
a
her.
talent.
Go.
So prove
Go.
it right now. What is
Um,
one random historical fact that would shock us?
Not historical,
I can,
just a fun fact.
I
Go
can-
ahead.
Oh,
I
okay.
can test you with a historical one.
Okay, what is okay?
How broad is this historical knowledge?
Not well. Let me give my fun fact first.
Okay,
And
go.
then, so I will say, not many people, I don't know if people know the benefits of honey. Like everyone wants to go to like ointment creams or things like that. But if you do get any like cuts or bruises, throw some honey on it. And then it has the same type of material in it that is actually better than using like pharmacy ointments, things like that. Yeah, just a little honey on it.
Interesting.
I've heard of tobacco for bee stings.
Tobacco over bee stings.
Like if someone has a big wad and you got stung with a bee, they could press it on there.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And it draws the
Interesting.
I
sting out.
have EpiPens for bee stings.
Well, some
That's
of us
good.
just chew dip. I was going to give you a historical fact about Scotland that I learned today.
Okay.
You may not know.
Okay. And then I'll tell you a conspiracy theory. I don't know if you watched the episode I was on, but I did share it there.
Okay, Zach.
What was the nickname of King William I of Scotland?
What was the nickname?
It still holds true with their patronage today.
What was his name again? King Louis of Scotland?
King William of Scotland the First.
See, I already lost because I already done chopped up his name. I have no idea.
He was
What
the
is it?
Lion.
The Lion. Mm-mm.
All right. So, Erica,
King
you said
Richard the Brave.
Erica, you said that you
Okay.
have a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, when I was on the last episode, I did share with you. It's a political theory. They're saying that a lot of our politicians in office are actually, presidents are actually related, and that the conspiracy is that's why there has been a funnel of selection on who ends up making the ticket because there is a funnel on their DNA connection.
Interesting.
Barack and Bush look exactly the same to me.
Barack and Hillary, I see it. They're excited. Yep,
Maybe is that why Kamala didn't get elected, was because she doesn't fit the lineage?
baby.
Man.
Mm-mm.
I'll tell you what, Kamala could come in my Oval Office anytime.
That feels so inappropriate. All right, here's the seventh question. We're going to wrap this up. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Any people that are alive?
Didn't you
Get
say it
three
was
of them.
three?
3 people?
3 people.
I would pick Obama, obviously.
Okay.
I would also pick my grandfather, and then I would pick Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Mhm.
So,
Barrett, I don't ever think we're going to win this one.
Zach, have I ever given my 3 people?
I don't think either one of us have.
I don't think we have. We're going to save that for
But
another episode.
I just noticed that all our guests never pick you and me.
Oh,
You're not wrong.
you know what? It's supposed to be a safe
And
space.
you know-
Don't make me feel bad.
And you know what's crazy is
I'll give you your grandfather, but the other two, I don't know how they're better than me and Barrett.
I know Erica has come in town several times and never been like, "Hey, I'm in Columbia. You want to get lunch?" She
You
never
actually lived in Columbia. I thought it was like
Hey,
a
guys.
surrounding area.
Hey guys, you want some
Lexington. I'm like
sushi?
6
I'd be
minutes
like,
away.
"Fuck
Oh,
no,
okay.
can we go get something else?"
I barely leave Charleston.
I get that. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Well,
I do
Erica,
remember that.
it has been a pleasure.
It
I
has
hope
been
that
a
you had a
pleasure.
good time.
Absolutely.
We're gonna wrap up the show because we've hit that hour mark. Is there anything that you all are doing right now, as far as or that you're trying to do or you want to promote, that you could tell us about real quick before we wrap this up?
Yes. So I am the secretary of a wonderful nonprofit called Positive Vibes, Rajane Smith. I do want to just throw it out there. So the founders lost their daughter due to gun violence. She was 14, so she was killed, gunshot. Gun violence is very unfortunate, obviously ending. However, We have now created a nonprofit surrounding it. We are going out in the streets. We're advocating for gun violence. We're advocating for our youth to know that there is something outside of gun violence. So I do want to shout them out. If anybody is interested, check us out. Like I said, we do so many things: grief counseling, youth counseling. We're offering CDLs. We're trying to just help our community know that there is something outside of, being in the gun violence world, things like that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Well, if you'll send me that information, I'll make sure that it's in the show notes so that people can check that out.
Perfect.
Erica, thank you very much again for being here. Zach, always a pleasure. In fact, actually, I have something for you, Zach, that I'm going to have to deliver to your house at some point here in the next few days.
Not a bomb, is it?
It's syphilis hands. He's being the syphilis hands.
He just I opened the door. He's like,
all on your Ring camera.
That is going to do it for episode number 240. Links to past episodes, podcast platforms, merchandise, and social media available on our website, theallaboutnothing.com. And if you think our financial model of giving away free content and entertainment is silly and you're in the giving mood, why not become an official Nothinger and support the show monthly? Members get early access to this episode, exclusive content as well, or you can make a one-time donation through the same link. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can call us. You can leave a message, 803-672-0533, or you can email the show at theallaboutnothing.com, or you can join our Discord server. Links are available at our website, theallaboutnothing.com. Thank you, everybody.
Message, you cowards.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. You all stay safe, be kind, and
keep your hands to yourself.
The All About Nothing podcast is a product of Big Media and produced and engineered by me, Barrett Gruber. Thanks to Cake for our intro music, Sick of You. You can follow everything Cake the band at cakemusic.com. Thanks to Muff the producer for our outro music. You can follow Muff on Instagram at Muff the producer. I am Barrett Gruber. You can follow me across social media by visiting Linktree/Barrett Gruber. You can follow Zach King on social media at GarnetKing07. Want to support the show? Visit our webpage at theallaboutnothing.com and become a member. There are several tiers available that give you early access to episodes as well as exclusive content. To find links to our social media, podcast platforms, and merchandise to support the show, as well as past episodes, visit theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like, you can be a part of the show. Email the show at theallaboutnothing.com, or you can call our number and leave a message. Dial 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is more than you can handle, check out our sister shows, including What the Pod Was That with Carrie, Zach, and myself, Welcome to Wonderland with Me, and Black, White, and Blue in the South with Dr. Jameel Brooks and Bill Kimler. Please subscribe and share this show. If you're on YouTube, please hit the subscription button and punch that notification bell. Thank you for listening, and hear us next week. The preceding podcast is a product of Big Media and copyright 2025, all rights reserved.